Thank you to Dragonheir for sponsoring today's video. What is up, my fellow gamers? In today's video, we got our tier list for DC Worlds Collide. Like and stuff for more amazing game content. As you can see on the screen, we got a bajillion heroes to go over, so it's going to be a little bit of a long video. I'm going to try and make it as quick as possible. We also got a huge announcement that I'm going to talk about a little bit into the video. Really big news that's going on. First one we got is going to be the Superman DCU. This is the brand new chase hero that we just got. Has his own exclusive banner. Definitely arguably one of the best. Super duper broken character, does tons of damage, just brings a lot to the table for your team. For our rankings, you can see we got SS, SA, B, C, and D. So for that new Superman that we got, we're going to put him all the way at the top at that SS area. Super duper amazing. If you can pull and get him, man, you are set. Next one we got is going to be Wonder Woman. This is what I would say like the next strongest one. If you're doing your newbie banner where you get to go ahead and select 3 different legendaries, this is the one that I actually chose, was Wonder Woman. I'm still working towards trying to get her. I still got a bunch more summons to do to unlock her, but she is also ridiculously strong in this game. Another easy top tier SS. I would say though that the new Superman we got is still better, so I'm putting her like right behind him. But before we continue on with our tier list, it's now time for our huge announcement, and that is going to be that for this video, our sponsor Dragonheir is making a return. Check this out. Dragonheir Silent Gods, it's making its big return to the US region. It is being renamed as Dragonstride in the US only on the App Store and Play Store. But it will still remain Dragonheir on Steam in the US and globally. There has been some massive changes to this game, making it so much better than it was before. In the description box of this video, I'll have my personal link to download the game. Go ahead and click that link. A huge reduction in the cost for the Heliolit dice. Before, the price was 350 Wamaro to go ahead and do a summon, but it has been slashed by 71%. It is now just 100 to go ahead and perform a summon. There's also improved card pool value and summoning returns. The pity system has been upgraded. Players can now earn bonus Heliolite dice through the card pool system after 300 draws. Players can select their own legendary hero of their choice. There's also been an increase in the hero and essence drops as well. But that's not all. Game progression has seen huge improvements. This one right here is by far my favorite, the level resonance. Now, all of your heroes will share the same experience level, which reduces grinding significantly. Also, material restrictions have been removed. Because of the relaunch, this game is offering an account appraisal valuator, which is so amazing. In efforts of assisting old and new players, what it does is it evaluates your previous Dragonheir account or your existing Raid Shadow Legends, Watcher of Realms, or King Arthur Legends Rise account to give you rewards based on the rarity of your champions, heroes, and the gear within those games. Go ahead and click on that link down below in the description box and start playing Dragonheir new and improved. Next one we got is going to be Lex Luthor. He's got some really cool shield abilities, and he also can go ahead and help your team put out more basic attacks. Just overall, another ridiculously strong top tier SS character. We're going to be going in kind of order. I'm doing like all the legendaries first, and then we'll do the epics and then the elites and the rares, because I think a lot of people are, they're here for those legendaries. Those are the ones that are really looking for, where, most of the rares are going to be like in the D tier and stuff like that. Next one we got is going to be Sinestro. He does some really good damage, but more importantly, what I like about him is his crowd control abilities. Also his skills that you can go ahead and do debuffing on the enemy as well. I don't think he is quite on the same level as the double S's, but I still think he's a really, really strong hero. I'm going ahead, I'm putting him in the S area. Next one we got is going to be Deathstroke. Now, one thing that I want to really stress is team building. Now, some of these characters that I'm ranking, you know, you are probably going to argue, maybe you'll agree with some, maybe you won't, but also like team synergy is really, really important. So we also kind of have to look at that as well. Deathstroke is really good for like a bleed team. So initially, you know, if you have him with some of the other pairings, he may not seem like he's that good, but if you build him with like a bleed team, you know, build other characters around him, he could be pretty strong. Not quite an S or even a double S. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put him in the A for right now. And remember, tier lists can change with the meta can change, tier lists can change, you know, lots of different things can evolve. This is kind of my first impressions tier list of what's going on with all of the characters currently. Next one we got is going to be the Flash. Now, what I really like about the Flash is his ability to manipulate the turn order. He's just a really good buffer, and you may not notice it at the beginning, but once you get into late game, when those enemies are really strong, all of those buffs and stuff, they really play a huge part in the end game. I think the Flash is easily up there in the S area. Next one, you guys, is going to be the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. I think he is, he's a tough one. I feel like he's like an A+, S-. He's got some good damage. I do like his shielding abilities as well. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put him in like the A area, A+. I think he's better than Deathstroke. Really close. You could put him in the S, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put him in the A for right now. Next one we got is going to be Cyborg. He can be really good in debuffing teams, also bleed teams, where you're going ahead and doing a lot of those types of manipulations. Overall, just a solid supporting character that can do a bunch of different things. Another one that I think I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put him like right in the A, right behind Hal Jordan right there, the Green Lantern. Next one we got is going to be the Blue Beetle. Now, I really like his ability to just go ahead and be a really strong tank. Actually going to go ahead, I'm going to put the Blue Beetle in the S, because if you are going up against a team that can target your backline, he's really good at just protecting your backline as well. Next one we got is going to be the Bride. The Bride, I think, is absolutely insane in this game. You got the revive, you've got like self heals, but also her ultimate ability goes ahead and lets like all of your team members use basic attacks. So like, you know, just overall, just a really insanely fun character to play as. For me, definitely going ahead, putting them in the S. Next one we got is gonna be Superman. Now, this is the regular Superman. He does have a self-revive. He has some pretty good damage reduction. He's kind of like what I would say a little bit of like a hybrid between like a tank and just like a damage dealer. The only problem is, like, if you're looking for one or the other, he's not like superb at one or the other. He just kind of does a little bit of both. So that could be something that you might not like. Like, he's not a full tank, but he's not also a full damage dealer either. So, you know, I think he's really good early game and mid game. Late game, though, you might notice that he kind of underperforms. Regardless, though, I think he's still really strong. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put him at the back of the S, like a S minus, A plus for me. Next one we got is going to be Dr. Fate. Now, this one I actually don't really like too much. I don't like his whole gimmick between taking damage. You might find it useful in certain situations, but I just feel like, you know, I would rather choose some of these other characters for the most part. I think, you know, you could still find a decent team with him. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the B for right now, like a B plus, A minus. Next one we got is going to be the Martian Manhunter, a pretty solid tank. Not amazing, but you know, his skills could be a little bit better. I feel like there are some better tanks in this game. I'm gonna go ahead. I think he's like an A minus, B plus for me. I'm gonna throw him in the A minus. I'm gonna give him just a little bit of extra love right there. Next one we got is gonna be Supergirl. Now Supergirl, I think is a prime example of a hero in this game that in a specific build, like a frostbite build, she's amazing. But if she's not in a frostbite build, she's trash, right? So it's like, all right, you know, that's a little bit of a wonky one. Depends on how you're using her. I think for her, I'm also going to go ahead. I'm going to put her at the back like an A minus if you have a good team. Next one we got is going to be Constantine. Now you get Constantine for free after your login bonus. So everyone's going to have access to this character. And he's actually pretty good. Like, I really like him. He's an epic rarity, which isn't bad. Probably one of the better epic heroes in this game. He's got some good AoE damage. Just overall, I think he's a pretty solid pickup. I would go ahead, I'd put him at like the back of the S, like an S minus behind some of these others. Next one we got is going to be Green Arrow. Now you can get Green Arrow with your first top up pack. You can get Green Arrow right off the bat to really jumpstart your account. Really solid epic character, does really good damage, but you can also get a lot of extra turns with his ultimate abilities when you go ahead and just start taking down enemies. I think he's a really solid character. Another one that I'm going to put at like the back of the S. Next one we got is Nightwing. Now Nightwing can be really, I would say, toxic if you build him outright, right? His blocking and his counter attacking can get insanely broken in certain situations, right? You can really just go off with this guy and just do some crazy combos. But overall, I think he's another solid, like, top tier S. I would probably say he's, if you use his combo right with his blocking and counter attacking, I think he can definitely be like in the middle of the S, like better than some of these other ones. The next one we got is going to be Zatanna. She gives your team buffs. She gives your team life steal. Overall, I think just, the buffs and the life steal alone really show that she can bring a lot to the table for your team. I feel like you can kind of throw her in a lot of different team builds as well. So like, where some of these other heroes kind of fit into very specific builds, I feel like a Zatanna, you can throw her in a bunch of different builds and she can shine, right? Very versatile, and I like that about her. So for me, I think she's definitely like at the top of the S because of that. Just a very versatile hero. Next one we got is gonna be Penguin. Penguin's a pretty good frontliner. For me, I'm going ahead, I'm putting him in the A. I think he's a little bit better than some of these other characters. I'm actually going to put him like right above like Deathstroke and some of these other ones. Next one we got is going to be Gorilla Grodd. Now this guy has some really good debuffing. He reduced the enemy's energy bar, which can really be crucial in a lot of different game modes, especially like PvP and just in general going up against certain enemies. I think this hero is super duper useful in a lot of situations. Just overall a really strong debuffer. For me, another one I'm going ahead and putting in the A. I think, right there behind Penguin. Next one we got is Raven. She does some damage. She does debuffs on enemies. She can revive your teammates. So she brings a little bit of everything, and she also can synergize well with a bunch of different teams. So I'm gonna go ahead on another one I'm putting in like the A area. I think is like a good solid middle of the A, not quite an S for me though. Next one we got is gonna be Kid Flash. Really good support character, has some decent healing. Overall, I will go ahead and put him in like the back of the A. Definitely, I would say better than a B. Next one we got is going to be Two-Face. I think Two-Face is really strong for controlling abilities, specifically good for going ahead and controlling the enemy's backline. I think this is another solid hero that I'm going ahead putting in the A area. Next one we got is going to be Red Hood. Overall, another solid damage dealer. This one I kind of want to put in the B+. I feel like, some of these A's are kind of better. Next one we got is going to be Star Sapphire Carol. This is another one that can be really hard to synergize well. It's another what I would feel like is a combo oriented hero where you really have to build a very specific team with her. Another one that I feel is like a B. It falls into that BA category. Next one we got is going to be the Green Lantern John. So this is a different version than the other Green Lantern that we had. Really good tank, has counter abilities, debuffing overall. I would say another, solid pick. I would put him like another one that I feel is in like the B plus, A minus. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put him at the back of the A because I actually do kind of like him as a tank. Next one we got is going to be Superboy. Superboy is another prime example of a hero that can do really good work if they're in a specific team build. So this is one that you need to have in like a burn build. If he's not in a burn build, he kind of sucks. So for me, I'm going to go ahead. I'm putting him in the B. Next one we got is going to be Batman. This is one that everyone goes ahead and gets for free. I think that Batman is pretty good early game, but can fall off. He's been carrying my team a bit early game, but I'm starting to notice that as I am getting like further into the game and progressing to the higher stages, he's starting to not perform as well as he did before. Another one that I feel is like kind of in the B, like a solid B in the middle right here. Next one we got is going to be Mira. Mira, I think, is another one that's just okay. I think she could be a little bit better, maybe if you can find a specific build. But overall, I think she's another one that's just in the B. Then we got Bizarro. Bizarro is another one that can be really good in a Frostbite team. Otherwise, if he's not in a Frostbite team, he kind of sucks. Then we got Ocean Master, another one really good in bleed teams. Can go ahead and protect allies and does a bunch of other things. Another one that I'm going ahead putting in the B. Then we got Dr. Phosphorus. This one I actually don't like. I'm actually going to put him in the C. I don't really like his hit, his skills and stuff. Next one we got is going to be Vixen. Vixen can go ahead and do some good damage. She also has some self-buffing skills as well, some controlling effects. Overall, I think another one that's kind of just mediocre in that B area. Next one we got is Weasel. Weasel, I think, is really not that good. He's just a damage dealer. The attacks are kind of random. It's just like, for me, I think he's a C. Then we got Green Lantern Jessica, deals damage, has a little bit of shielding. Unfortunately, though, I feel like there are better heroes out there. For me, Green Lantern Jessica, putting her in the C. Next one we got is Pandora. Pandora, I think, is pretty decent. I like her protection ability. But I feel like she's really close to not quite being a B. She's like in the C plus B minus for me. I'll go ahead. I'll put her in the B minus. Next one we got is Robin. Robin's just a basic damage dealer. Pretty good for bleed teams. Otherwise, nothing special. Another one that I feel is like a B minus. And then we got Poison Ivy. Decent in a poison team. Otherwise, I feel like she also falls off if you don't have her synergized well. You can't really just throw her in with a bunch of other heroes. You really gotta build a specific team with her. Next we got is Bloodsport. Bloodsport's actually really good for the arena. I actually want to put him in the middle of the B, but unfortunately I feel like he's not too good in some of the other game modes. All right, next up we got is Starfire. Works really good in a burn team, but what I really like about Starfire is her ability to destroy tanks. Basically almost like a tank killer. Does really good damage to those frontliners. Overall, though, I think she's still mediocre. Going ahead, putting her in the B. Next one we got is going to be Bane. I think Bane is actually really ridiculously strong. I would go ahead. I'm going to put him at the B plus. I really just love his abilities. Moving along, we got the elite heroes last, along with also the rares. Now, the way the elites are, I'm going to kind of rank them a little bit differently because I'm going to say that some of these elites, I'm going to put them in the A or B or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're worse or better than the epics or the legendaries. I'm just trying to kind of rank them and tell you hey, this is the best elite, right? So first one we got is going to be Cheetah. I think Cheetah is actually one of the better elites in this game. Really strong with the bleed team, does a lot of damage. Overall, for me, I think Cheetah, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the back of the A, like an A minus, B plus. Next one we got is going to be Black Carney. Now, I like Black Carney's ability to silence the back row. Because of that, I definitely think she is worth building out, especially for new players. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the back of the A. Next one we got is going to be Mr. Freeze. Now, I actually like his ability to put your front line in like a coffin, this ice coffin, and then they just basically become like a super tank and just absorb random damage, right? So I actually like Mr. Freeze. He's pretty cool. He's got, you know, a little bit of gimmicks going on. Another one that I think I would put in like the back of the A for the elites. Next one we got is going to be Huntress. Huntress is really good for just finishing kills. If the enemies are really, really close to dying, she basically just gives them the kill shot. Overall, I think she's pretty solid. If you need an assassin like that, you could put her in like the B plus, A minus. I'm going to put her in the B plus. Next one we got is going to be Red Robin, a pretty decent debuffer. Not someone that I particularly enjoyed using. For me, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put them in like the bottom of the Bs, like the B minus area. Next one we got is going to be Captain Cold. Another one that I think is, you know, okay early game, but really, you know, not the best. An okay elite. Going to go ahead, put him at the back of the Bs. Next one we got is going to be Scarecrow. Really good in a poison team. Otherwise, feels almost kind of not that great. Maybe a little bit useless unless they're in a poison team. For that instance, going ahead, putting him at the back of the C. Then we got Deadshot next. Deadshot, I think, is another one that's pretty decent. A little bit of some decent damage, but overall, and again, nothing crazy. Go ahead, put him in the B minus. Next one we got is going to be Harley Quinn. Now, I actually have been enjoying Harley Quinn a little bit, but then also I feel like she's starting to fall off now that I'm getting deeper into the content of the game. She's a support character, but she does like damage, but her damage isn't the greatest. She's another one that I feel like, you know, is gonna seem like she's pretty good early game, but then once you get deeper and into harder content, you're gonna notice that she really falls off. Then we got Black Manta, another one that's going in the B. Pretty good for burn teams, but that's about it. Next one's gonna be the Mirror Master, another one I'm putting in the B. Has some good back row damage dealing, which can be good early game if you're a brand new player and need that. But again, Mirror Master's really gonna fall off once you get into harder content. Next one we got Killer Croc. Pretty good in a bleed team. Otherwise, not that great. Another one that I'm gonna go ahead, I'm actually gonna put him in like the C plus area. Moving along to the bottom of the barrel, we've got Frankenstein. I'm putting him in the D. We also have the Phantom Stranger. I'm going ahead putting in the D as well. And then we also have Catwoman putting in the D, Batgirl putting in the D, Captain Boomerang, and pretty much all of the rest. We've got The Question. We've got King Shark, all of them going in the D for my ranking. That is it, my friends. That is my personal tier list. I hope you guys and girls enjoyed the video. Stay happy, stay safe, and I will see y'all later. Peace.